Come on in here, everybody. Let me get the music up. Where is my music? Here we go. Come on in. I need some lipstick.
A fairy tale I'd heard that always kept me searching. Within these walls, home is now the place of refuge and escape.
Come on in.
Serenity surrounds me. A miracle is happening to me. I'm finally learning what a home can be. Within these walls, I have learned to fly, to take charge of my life and find the peace inside me. Within these walls, we love and work and play, finding joy along the way. And now I want to stay within these walls.
Come on in.
Within these walls, my thoughts would pull me down. I wouldn't look around to see that love surrounds me. Within these walls, friends now gather here, and laughter fills the air.
Laughter.
It's all that I was wanting.
I like to laugh.
I've tried before to do it on my own. Now I found a way to make a home. Within these walls, I have learned to fly, to take charge of my life and find the peace inside me. Within these walls, we love and work and play, finding joy along the way. And now I want to stay within these walls.
Okay, that's enough. I like the lyrics. Like the lyrics. But I don't like it when it gets into instrumental. And so we're going to have some fun today. What are we going to talk about? Let's see. Sharpening your axe. Yeah, this is an important part of our day. I'm going to tell a story I learned many years ago. I don't know why I went to this conference, but it was in the cradle of Forestry, just up the road from me, in the Pisgah National Forest. And the head of the forestry, his name was Art something, and he told a story. Now, forestry is an amazing science of how you nurture the land, and trees are a renewable resource, y'all. Trees are such a renewable resource that we can grow trees as if they were a crop. So I'm writing down a note so I don't forget to tell you this story. So I live in the cradle of forestry. This is where forestry began in this country. And we have a beautiful area that is up the mountain toward the Blue Ridge Parkway. And so I went to a meeting up there, and the ranger told us a story about once upon a time there was this kid, and he wanted to be a timber cruiser, and he wanted to cut lumber and be a logger and all this kind of great stuff. And so he joined a timber crew, got hired, and they live out in the woods and they have a cook and, everybody taking care of the forest. So first day he went out and he was using an axe, swinging an axe. And he cut 7 trees that day. He cut down 7 trees. Now, the people who cut the trees were not the same people who drug the trees out by horses and a team of horses, but they cut the trees. The other people pulled the trees out. And so the next day he got up, went out in the woods, and he only cut 6 trees. He couldn't figure out why he couldn't cut 7 trees. Now, he was taking breaks, but he could only cut 6 trees. Next day he got up earlier. He went out into the forest early. And he only cut 5 trees. He skipped breakfast. Next day, he cut 4 trees. And finally, he's just beside himself, and he goes to the crew boss and he says, "What's wrong?" And he said, "Son, have you ever noticed when other people take a break, they pull the file out of their back pocket and they sharpen their axe?" They sharpen their axe. There you have it. When you take a break, you don't necessarily have to stop what you're doing, but you have to look at things a little differently. So he would spend, a 10-minute break sharpening his axe. When you get it sharp, I've seen the axes that were worn down to the nub. Just worn down to the nub. So you can get off your feet. You can plan groceries. You can fold clothes. You can sort through papers. There's lots of things you can do taking a break. Just take a break every 15 minutes, every hour, take a 10, 15-minute break. You'll be so surprised how much energy you're going to have when you take time for you. Take time to get some things done, but you can do it seated as well as standing up. So you can gather up the plates, sit down at your dining room table and set the table. But you don't have to be standing and working and running around the house all day, every day, without taking a break. Taking a break is going to help you stay energized. Maybe you can only stand for 2 minutes at a time, but you can get up for those 2 minutes. And then you can sit down and plan, make a list of 10 things, or maybe make a list of 6 things and use a dice for you to do the next, set your timer for 15 minutes and get up and do 2 minutes worth. Maybe you do a round robin like we did this morning, getting different areas of the house. We only spent 2 to 3 minutes on each little area. So it's okay to take a break. Don't feel guilty about taking a break. So let's have a drink of tea. Oh, mine's still hot. Oh, that's so good. So remembering to sharpen your axe, that's really sharpening your heart. Maybe you need to put on some good music that's going to energize you or get you connected to the Lord. Open up with prayer and thanksgiving. This morning, I titled our talk this morning, Wake Up. Well, we really need to wake up. We need to wake up. We need to wake up the power that's inside of us. That's what that song was saying. The power that's inside of us. We need to wake it up to get some things done, but we need to do things smart. We need to work smarter, not harder. So going back to the forestry, I have lived in the forest. I live on 10 acres. Robert and I have 10 acres that's covered in trees, and Robert has divided our forest into zones. Yeah, kind of like we divide our house into zones, but One summer he underbrushed the area right out from our kitchen. And then another summer, last summer he spent chipping. We had no idea we were going to get a stimulus check, and when it came in, he spent every dime of it on an industrial sized chipper. Now, he has to take the blades out of it ever so often and sharpen them. But many years ago, when Robert and I first married, he came home from court one day, and I said to him, honey, what do you think about me being on the same ballot as you? And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, there's a good possibility that one of our county commissioners, the lady county commissioner, is going to be elected to the North Carolina House. And I'm thinking about putting my name in the pot to be appointed to take her place. And he said, well, that's a fine thing to do. And I said, how do I need to do it? And he said, you need to go to each precinct chair. And I was at Republican headquarters every day, working in headquarters, just doing my civic duty for my conservative friends. And I decided I wanted to do this. So I let it be known. I went to each precinct chair and told them that I was willing to do this. And I got 17 out of 24 people that gave me their vote. Well, one of them lied to me, but that's another story. And, when you shake my hand and tell me you're going to do something, I expect you to do it or die trying, and this person didn't. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. You don't want to mess with me when you double cross me. But I had a meeting with our state our federal congressman's wife, and she was one of the people on the GOP committee that was a precinct chair that would do the nominating. And I had a meeting with her, and we met, and had lunch, and she says, well, tell me what you think about timber and harvesting timber. And I looked at her because I used to run a sawmill. So we dealt with harvest timber all the time. And this was in 1988 over in West Tennessee. And I said, I know about timber. I've sold timber. I have bought timber. I have cut up lumber. And she says, well, what do you think about it? And I said, well, I think the country can't do without it. It's like 7% of our gross domestic product is timber. And I said, here's what I really think about it. Tree huggers should have to do without toilet paper. And I thought she was going to die laughing. Miss Betty was so sweet. And tree huggers should have to do without toilet paper because our toilet paper is made from trees. Yeah, be thankful for a tree farmer. Be thankful that we can grow trees. They have a shelf life. A lot of trees, a lot of hardwood trees, have a specific time, and then they start to die. Undercover trees, if they don't get enough sunshine, they will die out. So that's what Robert culls in our forest for our firewood. He's practically got our firewood cut for next year because he goes out in early spring and starts marking trees that he's going to cut up and bring and stack underneath the treehouse so that we have firewood. We love to have fires. So taking a break, knowing that your axes are sharp, axes are cool tools. They're just wonderful tools. Hatchets and axes, and just look on YouTube at restoration of axes. One guy did one the other day, And he made this old rusty axe shine like a new silver penny, a silver dime. It had a beautiful, the most amazing finish. You almost hate to use it, but axes are tools that are made to be used. Now, let me talk about our tools. Our tools are here to motivate you. Yeah, you put a tool in your hand, like the carpet sweeper, and just run around the house with it. Put the feather duster in your hand and run around the house with it. Just having it in your hand is like having a magic wand to get some things done. So try it sometime. Pick up one of our tools, run around the house, pick up a purple rag in your hand, put a mop in your hand, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. And what better motivation than to put it in your hand and run around the house with some music playing to see what you can get done with it. How did he shine an old rusty axe? I don't know how he did it, but he showed the process. He puts it into some electrolysis thing that takes the rust off. He puts it on a buffing wheel. He does lots of things because rust pits things. And he added some more metal back to the parts that had been ruined. But they reclaim some amazing finds. I've been on a kick here this morning listening to people with metal detectors. We have a metal detector down in the basement. We haven't used it. I think Robert may have used it some. But these kids get out there and they start looking for things, and they ask people permission to be on their property, and they share their bounty with them. Somebody found a gold pendant that was a holy mother miraculous metal in gold encrusted with diamonds. It was absolutely beautiful. No telling how old it was. So take a break. Watch a YouTube video. Turn off the TV and fold some clothes or listen to a podcast. And I did something last night that I haven't done in a long time, is I bought me a new pair of slippers. I hate my Ugg slippers because they're actually slippers. I don't like slippers. I can't go outside in these slippers. So I bought a pair of My Pillow slippers because I was listening to Scott Kesterson on Bards FM, and he's got the My Pillow guy as a sponsor. And with the coupon code BARDS, you can get 40% off on My Pillow. So I bought us a new set of sheets, which we hadn't had any new sheets in 4 or 5 years. I bought a new set of sheets and me a pair of moccasin loafer type slippers that will stay on my feet. And they got soft, snuggly stuff inside. And they're made in the USA. So that's kind of good. So I treated myself to something last night. I did something for me. So y'all drink up. Sharpen your axe. Maybe you need to put a sign up that says sharpen your axe. And sit down and take a break. Because that's what tea time is all about. Taking a break. Listening to me. Watching another podcast. Hey, Robert. Robert from Baltimore. Then there are people that do fun stuff like fishing with a magnet. I can't imagine. Somebody's got me set up on YouTube. They get an alarm every day. We're getting a lot more people on YouTube, y'all. So please share our videos and subscribe on YouTube and give us a thumbs up. Share on Facebook. because we're here to help you get your home in order and take care of you, because if you don't take care of you, who will? You have to take care of you. So drink up. And Sister Patty says she got her hairs did today, as Michelle used to say. She went to the beauty shop today. I'm not there yet. Maybe this summer I'll get some hair cut. But I'm liking it long. Y'all are commenting on it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And like the video, give us a thumbs up, share us. It's all good. Because I want to get 100,000 people following us on YouTube. So share it with your best friend. Don't be afraid. She needs as much help as you do. I guarantee it. You just don't know it. Well, folks, I love you all. I will see you tomorrow morning. It's Saturday. What are you planning for family fun? Joy is taking Dylan and her parents. They're going to the zoo. They're going to the zoo. How fun is that? Now, we don't have a zoo anywhere close to us. Knoxville's probably our closest zoo. Last time I went to the Knoxville Zoo, I left crying. I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it at all. So I hope Dylan has a good time seeing the animals. Justin went to the zoo about the same age as Dylan is now. And it's a good age. It's a good age. But it makes me sad to go to the zoo. I've been to the San Diego Zoo twice. I went with Mother one time, and I took Mother one time, and then I went, Robert and I went another time. And that was a lot of fun because they have lots of things. But we got to the tiger enclosure, and those poor tigers, I just felt so bad for them. So I promised myself right then I would not go back to another zoo. Not go back to another zoo. Not gonna do it. We got some pretty pictures of some flamingos at San Diego. But it just breaks my heart. They need to be home. Anyway, folks, enjoy the rest of your day. What's for dinner? What's for dinner? Why is that? Because they're captured animals. They're captured animals. My heart just breaks. I love to see animals in the wild. I didn't like seeing that tiger running around Houston. I didn't like that at all. That was scary because it's a wild animal, not in its environment. My friend Debbie and her husband, who's been passed away for 10 years, they had a wild animal park close to them. And one of the lions got out and went after one of their horses. And it ran the horse into a pond that was dried up. It was just mud. And the horse was up to here. And Debbie had to get out in the pond and try to dig this poor horse out. And they had to get more people out there. So wild animals not where they're supposed to be is not good. Not good at all. So just some people have wild animals. So y'all, my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to them. Aquariums, I love the aquarium in Chattanooga because you go up five floors and you come out onto Pisgah National Forest, which is where I live, and there's otters playing in the water for 2 floors, just playing around. And then it goes down the Tennessee River, and then up the Tennessee River, and up to Kentucky Lake, and then to Ohio River. And then, you know what? It comes past where I grew up in Kentucky Bend. and then all the way to the Mississippi Delta into New Orleans. This river, that's what happens at the aquarium in Chattanooga. If you've never seen it, you ought to go see the Chattanooga aquarium. It's really great. And my nephew lives downtown in Chattanooga, right there. Anyway, folks, I love you all. Y'all be good, kind, and sweet. What's for date night? Yep, it's date night. You can do it. Anyway, folks, take a break. Sharpen your axe. You deserve a break today, but not at McDonald's. Don't eat that stuff. That's the one thing about being locked down for the last year and 3 months is I have had no fast food. None. No fast food. So that's a good thing. I love you all. See you later.